How big is this, Hendo, this second half?
I think Brian said at the start, it's huge.
It is big. We're having a chuckle, but my word, in terms of livelihoods and supporters' ambitions and what it means for both clubs, this next 40 minutes is pretty big, because if Swinton hang on here, they can lift themselves out of the bottom two, level on points with Barrow and Keithley, and suddenly the dogfight gets just a little less desperate for them and a little more desperate for York, unless they can find a way back here. Simon Brown with an early kick, trying to catch Richie Hawkyard out. The balance might yet catch him out, but in the end he rattles it in, and York are up there to make this tackle. And down he goes.
I was looking at the league ladder, Dave, just to reinforce what you're saying there. And if you're Barrow and you even sneak up towards Workington, you're going on a bad run of form at the moment, and you might just be dragged down there.
Well, we've said all season there's not going to be much between making the playoffs and being relegated, is there?
No, that's right.
And that's the situation. By the way, York's run in, Hunslet at home, their next game, then Workington away, who again are looking for a top 8 spot and looking not to get drawn in. Backley, who seem to have rediscovered their form again at home, and then Doncaster away. I think that's a game that still has to be rearranged. But some big games for York as well towards the end of this season. Here's Ian Watson for Swinton. Little run away from that dummy half position. Left it comes towards Harvey. Long ball over the top. Kevin Penny seems to have changed shirts at half-time. He's wearing the number 26 shirt in this second half.
Wait.
He was wearing 5 in the first, wasn't he? With his name on the back, and now he's all anonymous and wearing number 26. Good job we know who he is. There's no mistaking Kevin Penny, is there?
The boots give it away.
Yeah, especially when he's going at 80 miles an hour down that left wing. Here come York, looking to bring it out now.
Is that physically possible, 80 miles an hour?
Yes, it is. In his case, yes, it is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's because he played basketball as a kid, apparently. Early kick in the last set from York to get them downfield, to release them downfield. But how many tackles have we had here? 3. This is the 4th. So they're not going quite as early this time.
All the way, Danny.
Well, they've mustered a way of getting up to the 40-metre line, and they're trying to go further if they can through Stention. Swinton's defenders are eager and willing. So here comes a 6. They will need a good kick here. Off the boot of Brown, into the arms of Richie Hawkyard. He'll run it back towards that 30-metre line and maybe beyond, just a 5 yards or so. It's a decent return.
It's dangerous, isn't he?
Play on, it's still one.
Great offload, wasn't it? To Darren Hawkyard.
Move! Hold!
James Mendacre, I think it was, who got that flick to pass away. Taken in by James Brown.
James Brown's impressed me. All right, saying he came from the amateur ranks this season.
Yes, he made his debut, didn't he, when we were here last time?
He's from the Queen's Club, isn't he? Queen's in Leeds.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yeah. And they breed them tough there, don't they? At the Queen's Club in Leeds. Nearly an intercept, just off the fingertips of Brown.
Knock on.
Well, it's a risk that Brown's taking here, but it's going to be head and feet to Swinton, and I'm not sure it's a high percentage play, but
it's good, fellas, good start.
But I mean, I suppose if the ball gets on the outside of him there, I think it creates a 2v1. So you know, he's basically got himself caught in no man's land defensively there, and come up with a bit of a half-hearted attempt to try and stop the play. Williams busts through here off the scrum.
Still going here.
Plays strong, isn't he? Bustling Reece Williams.
Watson at dummy half. Left it comes to Harvey, looking for that inside ball. And gets a pass away. He's done well. It's Richie Hawkyard again here who's picked up the pieces.
He's always around there, isn't he? Sniffing Hawkyard.
Watson spinning it back to Harvey. And it comes to Burke, and Burke gets it away to Darren Hawkyard. Who for the second time tonight from a similar position has found a way through. Just sheer will and determination in the end that took him there. And 4 minutes into the second half, is that the try that does break York's spirit here?
It is, and I'm going to be honest here. It's poor defence for me. They didn't really have much shape on out here, did Swinton. They didn't really have many numbers, and Lattice has just got to make that tackle. Simple as that. And you know, there was no real threat here for me, and Lattice just gets caught. I mean, their spacing's not great. He sort of bites in a little bit on the bloke who had the football. Not too sure who passed that ball to Hawkyard, but
He was looking on his outside, Hendo, and before the play even got to Hawkyard. He should be nailing Hawkyard and playing a bit square. And he's just got on the outside of him, Hawkyard. We've got to say with good speed, and he's just held him off and fending him off and fending him off and fending him off. And now that Swinton have got a good lead.
It's a fast end, isn't it?
Could be a long half, this, couldn't it? You know, just the way it's looking at the moment. Not from Swinton's point of view. They'll be loving it, but just the way it stands at the moment, something has to happen to get York back in the game that hasn't been apparent for the last half an hour or so.
I think they're going to need I think they are going to need an element of luck or something here. I think they're going to need, like, you know, Swinton to come up with a knock-on off a kick-off here or something to give them that field position and opportunity. And I think if they are up there, I mean, any team when they're in that 20 zone have got a chance of scoring, you know, but I just can't see them.
And the other thing,
Brian, I mean,
no, I was worried from probably minute 10 on the physical aspects of the way the game was going. You know, the big blokes were looking dominant in blue, and I think the blokes coming off the bench like Brown have added to that. Watson's probing in and around. Hawkyard looks dangerous all the time. Darren Hawkyard does the tough stuff and then makes the breaks. They just look a bit too physical for me at the moment.
Well, the other consideration, of course, as well, if Swinton do the job here and get the 3 points, is also denying York a point. Winning by more than 12, and it's so tight at the bottom that could be
a great point,
an important thing as well. So they'll not want to take their foot off the gas at any point, Swinton, in this second half. Here comes David Mills. There's the 5th.
Wait for the goal call.
Here comes the kick on the 6th. It's spun high again by Harvey. It's not gone too far downfield. And Harvey, in fact, is the man who takes it and tries the offload. Giving it away. York have possession back again.
I know that wasn't the best kick there from Harvey, but what a real positive thing for Swinton is they've got 2 halfbacks that can kick the football. You know, that's a big difference between them and York at the moment. You know, every time York get to the end of sets, you know, certainly from a distance kick, Simon Brown's getting the football. And, you know, and Swinton can then just focus all their energy and kick pressure on Brown, because you know Johnson's just got a short kicking game, so he's not going to be touching the ball coming out of backfield. And it's a big play, you know, to have the opportunity to use either halfback. As Ford goes down this short side, makes a break.
What a pass! Elliott now. Elliott with a step back on the inside, and Elliott desperate at trying to get there.
Good play.
Great tackle.
Just put down. Tom Carter, dummy half, wants to go. Penalty for York.
Good call, Brian. But what about that play? Almost out of nothing there.
We love it when Hendo gets excited.
It was just an edge play that they created an overlap, and Ford's the creator in chief.
He drags a winger in and gets the old Matt Gidley flick pass out, and away goes Elliott. And I thought he was almost going to get there, but great cover defence.
So Jack Lee with a tap here, and York have 6 tackles to have a go. And not being over melodramatic, but you know, this could be, this set of 6 could have a big influence on the way the season goes from here. Lee with a pass away.
I needed some push.
Tackle on Malinder. Here comes Lee again. It could change the momentum of the game here if they just get something back. Johnson with a duck and a dart. Paul's put on his back to put him down. Lee spins it left. Here comes Brown trying to get them on again, and Scott's just going to be held up.
Thought he was over.
So did I.
A foot away, so still they go left, and Lee again tries to barge his way in. Swinton's defence is showing plenty of character here when it's been needed. Not been needed too often tonight. Brown picks it up on his fingertips. Has a look, has time to put the kick in towards his right-hand side. They've got the numbers, and Penny goes up and gets hands to it. And I think his was the first knock on. So I think this will be York's head and feet. Oh, he's giving it Swinton's way.
Oh, he said a penalty.
Oh, he's given a penalty offside. That's what he's given.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
No, you're inside, mate. You're inside the 10. Offside, in 10.
Frantic bit of play there, wasn't it? From York. About 3 times they got their noses through. Johnson ducked under a couple. You thought he might have got over there, and then Sam Scott hits a line. You think he's going to get over, and Jack Lee has a go, and then it comes to Brown on the last, and he just gets the time. It was a good, decent kick.
I think it's a good call from the linesman as well on the onside offside.
And this is that edge play we're talking about, Brian. There, they hit out the back of the car, and Ford gets on the outside of his man there, and then brings in Penny, and nice bit of skill. He actually, to be fair against us on the weekend, he did the same play and put Elliott for a try against us on the weekend with that little flick pass.
So Swinton, having survived that moment of pressure, find themselves back inside their opponent's half. Here's Penny. He's going to be tackled there, 35 metres away from that York line. It's taken in by Jack Morrison.
Yeah, they've just brought on Morrison and Riley together now.
Good, go.
He's made a double substitution.
Harvey, chip over the top. Penny's going chasing after that, but easy enough take by Elliott.
Played well, Elliott, hasn't he?
He's had a dig.
Move! Wait!
Johnston.
Go.
This is Jack Eiley, who he's not been on in the first half, has he, Jack Eiley? I think he's arrived from the interchange bench a while back in the second half, but his first spell here for him. There's Lattis.
Hold! 3, Darren!
Dealt with.
Hold here, hold on the goal.
Need to find some energy from somewhere, don't they, York? Getting a bit one out now, aren't they? And
4.
I think a try earlier in the last set would have given them some
yeah,
energy.
I think so, yeah.
Wait! Go, good.
22-6, so 3 scores needed to get themselves in the lead. Just the 1 score needed to get themselves a bonus point, but here they go. What an opportunity here. It's Lee. Lee looks to his right-hand side. Johnson's going to be dragged down by Harvey, and it was knocked on. Harvey's tackle has forced the ball out of Johnston's hands, and it will be Swinton's head and field.
Oh, a great offload from Nicholson there. He manages to somehow get his arm free up high and plop the ball down into Jack Lee, and he just shows and goes, gets through the hole. Great line break, and they just all missed the kick though. There was no push or support, and I just called it before that they were starting to get a little bit one out there and a little bit on their own. And you know, Jack Lee's waiting, he's looking, he needs to get rid of the ball now, and he's looking and looking, and finally Johnson pops up late, but just unfortunately there he just loses the ball there in the tackle. So Swinton survive, and York have to keep fighting on.
See, the problem for York is they don't get down there much. When they do, they've got to take their opportunities, because what Swinton are doing with the ball, getting out of their own half, is too physical for them, so they're conceding metres.
Here comes Swinton again with all that muscularity. How many tackles? 3 gone. And from virtually their own line, they find themselves very nearly on the halfway line with 4 tackles gone.
4, move! Wait.
Watson just saunters up to that dummy half position again. The short flat pass to Jack Morrison.
5, move!
So here comes the last in this sequence. Harvey.
KP's on.
Another high boot, making Tom Carr worry about it for a while as it hangs in the air. He ducks underneath Kevin Penny, almost crawled underneath Kevin Penny.
He was a smart player, wasn't it?
Done well. He done really well.
What's this?
Good take. And
now you see me? No, you don't.
Well, smart in 2 respects. 1, he managed to get downfield, and 2, he didn't have his head taken off, but he stayed on his feet. So smart in that respect as well, wasn't it?
Hold.
Here's
on
Lee.
the goal call. Wait. Go.
Dummy half.
2.
Brown helping it on again to Sam Scott.
3rd. Move. Hold here. Hold. 3rd. Wait.
Struggling
go
here
with it.
to get themselves as far downfield as they would like. Swinton working hard in defence. Lee up again at dummy half. This is Brown, shows a couple of times and then gives it to Johnston, who fancies a little dart here and almost gets through, but McNannin puts those big bear-like arms around him and pulls him down. And here comes a 6th tackle with Brown with a cute little kick over the top. Now, how good is this bounce? How good is this bounce? Watson bats it back to Richie Hawkyard, and Hawkyard puts his head down. He's through the tackle of Freer, and here comes Hawkyard, wrapped up by Carr, put down. Another thrilling run.
Put that down to Watson. Smart play from me and Watson. The ball bounces back, he jumps up and he just pats it straight back into Hawkyard, who's in a great position behind his half-back teammate there to clean up. He just taps it down, and then Hawkyard, great little feet, duck. Little Johnny on the spot, isn't he? And away he goes. And he earns himself a penalty too, his team a penalty, because of his endeavour to get up and play the football.
Is he kicking for goal here?
Yep, touch judge behind the sticks. So they are going to go for a 2 here.
Mate, 7 both sides.
Would you have gone for goal here?
I wouldn't have. I would have kept rolling. You know, we're on top, you know.
Stay behind
you. I would have.
Stay on side.
It's a strange teeing up style, isn't it, of Craig Harvey? He really stretches his hamstrings as he places that ball on the tee. They've all got the little idiosyncrasies, haven't they, the goal kickers, all the things they have to do as they put the ball on the tee and prepare. Oh, he's put it wide. I thought he kicked that well enough, actually, but he's put it wide.
Is that the third one he missed?
No, it's the
second penalty he's missed because he took a penalty shot before half-time, didn't he? He missed that one, and he's just missed that one there. But
no, it is 3. Actually, Brian's right, 3 out of 6. Because he missed the conversion, and he's missed 2 penalties. Listen, never argue with Brian Noble. We've said it before.
I never argued with Brian Noble.
You did argue?
No, I didn't. I just said he's missed 2 penalty kicks. I knew that. I didn't know if he'd missed the conversion or not.
You started the sentence with the word no.
Oh, whoa. Just relax, boys. Let's get back to the game, eh? The footy's on.
Watson to this left-hand side. Sarsfield takes it in on the halfway line. Referee pats his shoulder as there are claims that it might have been a bit high.
And that was the right call.
Here's Riley.
Hold it, hold! Hold!
Watson.
Go.
There's a little run from dummy half again. I'm going to test those aging legs of his to see if they can get them through, but York's defence was wise to it. Left it comes again to Harvey, and Harvey has a look up, and here's Mignan in like a tank driving forward, and again looking not to die with the ball in his hands, but to get the pass away. Couldn't quite do so. Here comes the 6th. Harvey again, slotting it through. Cast desperately hoping, and he's satisfied in that hope that the ball runs deep and dead. And he'll get the chance to take the tap here. 16 points still the margin.
No.
There's Eiley.
Come on, Darren! Hold. Hold, go.
Just again looking at York body language. What do you make of it? There are 1 or 2 hands on hips on this near side that we're not seeing on the screen at the moment, but what do you make of this York body language?
Go, Yulma, you're off. Yulma, you're off.
You're in a tough place, mate.
No, you're off. You're not come back to 10.
Here's
great line.
Wonderful, long-legged break. Never the pace to make the distance, but decent tackle from Hume as well. So here come York again. Maybe there is still hope forward on this near side.
4.
James Ford, who doubles up as the under-20s coach at York as well, doesn't he?
Right.
They're making breaks, York, but they're not getting anywhere on the end of them.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Missing the kick. Fee went through a hole and
just needed someone there on his outside or inside there to give it to, and he just has been a problem a couple of times for him.
6th tackle play again. Brown with the ball back on the inside. It's been chased by Carr, and Carr's up for this.
He has.
Tom Carr gets the hand on it. Has he got control of this? The referee wants to look at the onside and offside, and of course the grounding. So Ian Smith, it's over to you.
Onside, offside. So you can pause it on his foot, please. Pause there. Yeah, he's onside. So let's go to the grounding, please.
He's onside.
He's onside, definitely. So we're just on grounding. My initial view is that he's not grounded that, but I need something a little bit clearer. So does he get downward pressure on this? So it's off his forearm. He's overrun it. That doesn't look like it on that. One more, please. From this corner, nice and slow, please. My gut reaction and what I've seen so far, I'm saying no try, but this will prove it one way or the other, I think. So ball bounces up. Forearm. Does he get down? No, he doesn't. No, that's no try, 20-metre restart, Chris. No try, 20-metre restart.
No try, knock on. 20-metre restart.
Well, there's no arguing with Ian Smith. That was quite clearly a no try, wasn't it?
And it's a set play as well. All he has to do is finish that. Try and get 2 hands to it would be my call to try and get it down. And yet another opportunity goes missing for York. They've had a couple now, haven't they?
They have this last sort of 5-minute spell, haven't they? They've had a couple of, like you said, a couple of late offloads and line breaks off the back of some edge play. But like you pointed out, Brian, you know. And I said it before as well, they're a bit one out, there's not enough push and reaction. Like I said, they're missing the kick when they are making these line breaks. You know, they need people in a position to finish them off, and they could well and truly be back in this game. But and unfortunately, there was a good bit of skill there, the reverse kick. Back on the inside there for Carr, and he just unfortunately just couldn't get the ball down. And certainly if he'd have scored there, 22 points to 12 with just over 20 to go, you'd say it's game on, fellas.
Well, you two blokes keep reminding me as well that another score for York and they're within the 12-point margin. It's another point. It might be massive, that point at the end of the year.
Yeah,
true.
You don't want to give anything up, do you, at this point? You don't want to give anything up. Keep it as alive as possible as Brown plays it. Watson throws it to this left-hand side. Here comes Harvey with another kick. Fullback Tom Carr's going to get sick of staring at the sky, and a little white speck suddenly getting bigger and bigger, and every time he does seem to patch it safely enough.
He's done okay at the back as well, Carr, hasn't he? You know, him and Elliott, I think, have done a pretty decent job.
But it means almost inevitably he's tackled where he takes it, doesn't he? Every time he's tackled where he takes it because it goes so high.
Well, Harvey's launching those big spiral kicks, and they're for one person because he's got the toe to get down there and the foot speed. It's Kevin Penny. If you look, he launches them up and he's coming right in from his wing.
Good line, Nicholson's through again.
Terrific run here
Jack
from
Lee
Matt
on the
Nicholson.
inside.
Has a look. Got his Well, Jack Lee, I think, was furious there.
The one time they actually have someone pushing and backing up in support, and he doesn't use him.
Here comes Freer. Well, maybe he looked and thought maybe Jack Lee doesn't have the pace to go the distance, so I'll try.
Give him a chance.
Here's Malinder, back to Johnson. Johnson with a little grubber kick. It's not what he planned, but it nearly comes off. The offload. Play on, isn't it? Oh, the referee says... The referee says it was a knock-on. Where are we going here? Where are we going here? It's a handover, just a straightforward handover.
Oh, it's a good line. I mean, Morrison at A is way too wide there. Great line from Nicholson, but he's got to use him. Got to use Jack Lee on the inside there, Brian, surely.
Yeah,
give him a chance.
In defence, he would have seen Kevin Penny coming covering across and thinking, if I pass this, he's not going to score anyway because Penny's got the pace of him.
Yeah, but give him a chance, you know. You're putting at the end of the day, the reason you pass somebody the football is because you believe they're in a better position than you. You know, chances are, was he going to run over the fullback or Jack Lee, who's, you know, he might have some players around him a few metres behind him that may chase him down, but he's in a better position, mate, and may have had the opportunity to fend him off and score. You don't know.
Here's Darren Hawkyard for Swinton, who's still at lead by 22 points to 6. It's a better show by York in the second half. Without the frilly bits on the end, that's the problem, isn't it?
Nicholson's been the difference, hasn't he, this second half? He's had a couple of offloads for breaks, and he's made a break himself now.
This is Hume.
Well, if you notice as well, I think in the first half we saw York just trundling it up one out, or, you know, sort of playing quite direct and dropping a lot of people off. Now they're starting to get the ball a little bit out into the edges and the fringes and try and create a bit of space out there, and it's starting to prove dividends for them.
Here's George Elliott.
Chancing their arm a bit more, Brian.
What about this? Look at this from Elliott.
Decent kick return.
Stuck behind the 30, but he's made another 8 or 9 yards downfield through sheer determination. And York will just feel, well, we've broken the line a couple of times. Maybe there is something in this game for us yet. 20 minutes still to play. Hop and a skip by Sam Scott. Trying to get the arm free, and it's stolen. So the penalty goes York's way here. So a rare chance to start a set from deep inside their opponent's half here.
Come on, tackle for, mate. Discipline.
Lee with a tap. Nicholson. Still driving. Matt Nicholson, Lee up at dummy half again.
On the goal call.
It's only the first tackle. Still got 5 to go. Johnson again. We'll try a duck and a dart once more. And Johnson this time has got through. He's been threatening that a time or two. And the little fella with enough power to make sure he bursts that Swinton defence. And maybe there is life in York season yet. Johnson with a try. 22 points to 10.
Great score. Pinned his lugs back, took off. Saw Ian Watson in the line saying, I can beat you for pace, Ian Watson. Goes on the outside.
23.
Great score.
Yeah, you need to get into him, mate.
Boom. Puts the foot down. Beats Watson for pace. He can't get there to cover the play.
The one thing I know about Ben Johnson is he loves taking the line on. You know, time and time again, we've seen him a couple of times not been probing, hasn't he, and whatnot, and the opportunities that he has had with the football. He will always take the line on, and as he rightly said there, Brian, you know, he backs himself to get the outside of Watson there. You know, shows the dummy with the drop-off play. Sarsfield obviously gets caught a little bit in no man's land there, didn't know whether to come in or stay out and close the play. He doesn't react quick enough, and he goes through that space, and he's got a good turn, a little pace there over 10, 20 metres. He's quite electric out of the blocks there.
And you've got to say, Dave, as well, they deserve this, York.
Yes.
They deserve this. The last 10 minutes they've been the team, haven't they?
Time off.
They have, without the finish. But now they've got the finish. So how well can they finish? 17 minutes left to play. 22-10.
Time back on.
Now another big kick here. Oh, he's put it wide. He's put it wide.
No goal.
But at 22-10, they are just clinging on to that bonus point. Not good enough, they would say. Not good enough, a bonus point, but certainly better than the nothing they had been looking down the barrel of a while ago. And now they've got hope of getting even closer.
Well,
on the cross, mate,
I'm not being funny, but there's still 17 minutes on the clock, isn't there?
Yeah, I think Nathan Freer's done a great job there as well. He's pushed in the line. You know, you've been speaking about the push all the time, the support play. He takes the defender off, but gives him that one-on-one opportunity.
So maybe those shadows of doubt are just beginning to lengthen across the minds of Swinton here, or do they recollect and get themselves back in a dominant position? But York have confidence and a self-belief that maybe was lacking before. Here comes Sam Scott.
They're going to look to shift again here, I think. Setting up off Brown.
Brown. Here's Freer. Nathan Freer not pushing too far down the Swinton line. Brown takes it on again. Here's Johnston. Short pass. Malinder. It'll be held eventually.
Go. Time on the score call, fellas.
James Ford. Let's tackle 5. And what can they conjure with this kick here? Back it goes to Johnston, who's just going to look for touch here.
He's a good
At
kick
least
under
put it
pressure.
in the corner. Put it in the corner and make Richie Hawkyard work hard. We know how good a returner he is, but look at that line that he's got to run right across, and he's taken them on, and Lattis will drag him down, and that's a good result, isn't it, from York's point of view?
Definitely. Hawkyard, one more players on the outside.
Well, only now have Swinton got all their players back behind to play the ball. 10 yards from their own line. Doing it just a little bit too clear at the moment, Swinton. Riley up and down. 3 tackles gone.
It's probably the first time we've seen Swinton under any real pressure in this game, to be honest, boys.
4, wait, go.
Watson. Going to be a kick here downfield off the boot of Jordan Burke. How good's the bounce? Just makes it a little more difficult for Tom Carr. It's a 4-man chasing pack they've got there. Dougie Flockhart, the Scot, is given the invitation of taking on that line.
Wait for the goal call. Wait for the goal call.
Here's Carr again. Sam Scott.
2. Move! Hey, you mate,
They'll be looking to finish inside their opponent's half and looking for a deadly finish with a boot again here, or maybe even better. Here's Lattis, who's running into a wall of blue defenders. 3 gone.
Go.
3 to go in this set. In by Aldous.
4, what's up? Hold here, 4.
Wrestling his way back to his feet again. Johnston, Freer, pushing in, making his presence felt. There's 5, here comes the last. 30 metres away, they've loaded up on this blind side. The kick's back down the middle again, though. An awkward bounce means Swinton have to deal with this. Do they know they've done it? Bounces out of play.
It's just such a good set. I'm being picky, but it's just a poor kick. 320 metres and...
Yep.
They're winning on top in the arm wrestle.
Hold on, wait, Nathan. Go, good.
Just have to keep it in the field of play.
Just thought it might have been forward there for Matt Sarsfield, but he's allowed to go. He started the season at Huddersfield, Matt Sarsfield. Here's Nanin, Mick Nanin.
Move! Come on, Jack, here. Good.
Watson.
3rd.
Carrying it wisely up to the 40-metre line, ducking underneath, hitting the ground, getting up as quickly as he can. Morrison barreling forward again. 5 gone.
Go, good, 5.
Here comes the last, and Watson again just drills it towards that touchline. Just march him down the field, put it out of play, let them do the hard work.
Nah, smart play from Watson. He's been around long enough to know that when his team's starting to get on top of him, knows when to just drill that into the sideline. Regather, regroup. Say York at 10 metres out from on line now.
Time it on the goal call.
They've been under some pressure, Swinton, haven't they, in recent minutes?
Yeah, and you just worry about that counter punch because York have been the team in the ascendancy, and all that pressure, don't quite get the last kick that they deserve, and then all of a sudden Swinton are in a bit of field position.
Well, they have a chance to try and make hay down this right-hand side, but Swinton's defence is across well enough to make the covering tackle. Some big efforts going in, isn't there?
Oh, geez, he was running hard, that kid.
Attack and defence.
He was running hard, and he got met by some hard shoulders as well.
He was a bit shaky when he stood up, wasn't he?
Yeah, he ran into a brick wall there just quietly, but he was running with some purpose.
Here comes Johnson. Brown puts it left and taken on by Scott. A good
Nice
offload
play.
again here and then thrown left, and Lattis just about keeps a hold of it here, and Lattis looking to make grave. And look at Flockhart. Flockhart now on that left side, but some muscular defending. Flockhart still going. He's going to take Hawkyard with him for a moment there. Good strong effort, and there's still tackles to go here. 4 to go. Brown across the line. This now is Johnson. Johnson with a flat pass to Freer. Freer's put down. Oh, he's knocked on. He has knocked on.
And it's, geez, Gary thought he must be frustrated sitting in the stands, you know. It's the opportunities that they've created this second half, you know, they've managed to get some line breaks. They haven't finished off. They've come up with a couple of knock-ons like that. Ben Johnson knocked off on one on similar.
He's been massive this second half for him. He's the last bloke you want to get the ball because they had the numbers out.
No, they had to go at the back. He had to play at the back. Yeah, had to play at the back there, definitely. And it's funny. Yeah, that's great skill from Sam Scott there, and Carr does that really well too to promote the football. A nice little 2v1 there, Flockhart. And you were calling it, Dave. You thought he was going to take him over the line. He was leg driving, and yeah, it was good. And I wanted to point out before about, I was going to say that because they were attacking Swinton's left edge a lot, weren't they? And I thought the Swinton defenders were starting to overload this left side here defensively. And I could see Reece Williams dropping back early on the tackle count. There was some space on that left side for York's attacking wise, and I'm glad they saw that and exploited it there on that occasion. Good vision and awareness.
Good Nathan, goal.
Here's Watson.
From Gary Thornton. If I'm Gary Chambers, I'm thinking I need to get James Brown out there and Mills out there again and get some go forward trumbling again. Oh, there you go. Is that Brown?
There he is. He read him out before he said it.
I don't know if he's actually come off Brown, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was off.
Was he?
He's outside.
Here's Watson.
He's outside.
Left-footed kick. It's a forlorn chase.
20 restart.
From everybody's point of view, Tom Carr lets it bounce out of play, so tap back on the 20 here.
Not a bad kick from Watson. Smart play again. He purposely kicked that dead because he gets his line set on the 20 and come another 80 metres on us then, York.
Here's Jack Eiley.
They've been doing pretty well, haven't they?
Hold on the 10,
They have been.
Wait, go.
Brown bending his back at dummy half. Scott
again
on that left-hand side, and a good offload once more, and here comes Flockhart again. He's good to watch with ball in hand, isn't he? Dougie Flockhart.
So Scott's been great the last couple of sets.
Johnston.
Nice.
Oh, they're making the numbers again here, tickling it forward, and Harvey's back there to take it safely enough.
Tom Carr, I don't know whether that was the right... He needed to square up me for more into the line more, you know. I thought he was just... He got the ball at the back, they created the numbers there, but he needed to square up more on the line. And he would have been able to probably suck the winger in to create that 3v1, but he kept running a bit of an overs line and almost found himself running into the touchline, and he just panicked there, I thought, and put a little dab kick through, and I don't think it was the right play.
Watson.
I'd have been happy if he'd kicked it a little bit harder.
Possibly. I just think he needed to square up in the line more, and he was going too lateral.
Go, good 4. Good Nathan.
Here's Smith. This now is Tahui.
Move! It's okay.
6 tackle. Watson. Another little kick that just tantalises, and Flockhart. Oh, he's not there. He's not
counter punch, as Brian was saying.
And that might just be that.
Time off.
Well, the referee's not sure, actually.
Knock on, please. Not knock on.
He's putting the square in the air. Onside and offside is what he's looking at here. So Ian Smith, another big decision for you.
It's Mendeka with the score, isn't it?
Yeah.
Onside, offside, because it's from a kick. We always have to check onside, offside. Right, they're onside. Play on. So, who knocks on there? That's what we're looking at. Does the York player just lose it onto the Swinton player, which it looks like from first glance? So let's run this through. So the York player gets to it first. Just loses it onto the Swinton play. Unless you've anything different, I'm going to grounding. This one, last one. No, he regathers. Just carry on to the grounding, run it through, please. There's definitely no knock on. Well, there is, but it was by York, so the advantage is a try. Chris, that's a try.
Time back on.
So the try confirmed for James Mendeka. 26 points to 10. With a kick right in front of the posts. It's a real hammer blow as far as York are concerned, because they ain't going to win this game now, and suddenly even that bonus point is looking as though it might not be theirs either.
Well, it's just an element of bad luck Gary Thornton's been talking about for the last few weeks, hasn't it? When you're down, brother, and unfortunately Is it Flockhart that can't regather the ball, and Dacre won't get an easier score than that? He has 3 really awesome carries, the last 3 carries for Flockhart, hasn't he? And then the one defensive activity there, albeit under pressure, goes against him.
Well, here comes Mick Nunnin, and a chance here. He's taken over the goal kicking here tonight, and a chance for him to narrow the gap. He's currently 8th in the all-time, and we're saying all-time rugby league scorers. 15 points takes him above Kel Coslet, who's currently 7th. The St Helens legend, of course. He's taking his time here, is Mick Nunnin, but it's an easy enough kick, and over it goes. So 28 points to 10. You have a look at that list that he's in, by the way. Neil Fox, number 1, of course, the all-time great centre. Jim Sullivan. Brian Noble remembers playing against him. Gus Risman. John Woods of these not too far away from here is number 4. Cyril Kellett, the man who kicked all those goals in the 1973 Challenge Cup final for Featherstone against Bradford. Kevin Sinfield, number 6, with 3,634. Kel Coslet has 3,545, and Mick Nunnin now has 3,532. It's not bad company he's keeping, is it?
Hold on the line, hold on the line, hold, go.
He's been around. Swinton, here, Rochdale, Whitehaven, Widnes, Oldham, Quinzarell, Halifax. He's on loan from Halifax at the moment.
And how much did Swinton need that try there?
Well, they weren't the best, were they? And I think the introduction of Brown and Tarui,
just to seal it for him.
Stay behind. Let's go, Harvey.
So maybe the spirit's diffused.
Your mark's there.
Penalty for Swinton here.
Come on, Scotty, discipline.
As they look to finish the job. And as dispirited as York are at the moment, Swinton will be flying. This will be their 2nd win in 3 games. Oh, but they've lost possession there. Their 7th point in 3 games as well. And if you're going to put a run together like that, then now is the time. Right at the back end of this season.
Well, York have to keep playing. They need a bonus point now, don't they?
Absolutely.
Trying a goal would get them that bonus point. 18 points they're losing at the moment. Brown, here's Freer.
And I'll tell you, Swinton will be doing everything to deny them the bonus point.
What are you off? You've gone too early before the goal call.
Johnston stretching and chancing his arm. Tom Carr brings it back. Running round from one side to the other at the moment. This is Sam Scott with an unlikely chip over the top. Kevin Penny would seem to have this covered, and does. Quick thinking inside to Richie Hawkyard. And Scott with an important tackle, but suddenly Penny's got possession. And look at this man run. Kevin Penny, lifted by Carr.
Great tackle.
Needed that one. Needed that one. But here suddenly it's Rhys Williams with a break, and Rhys Williams tearing the heart out of that York defence and that York resistance.
Here we're checking for an obstruction, mate.
Well, the referee is again looking for a video intervention here. It's a question of obstruction. It's a question of, is this the end of York's night?
This is the one. Yeah, we're looking for obstruction here. So is he already through the gap? Just run that one back, please. So what we're looking at here, right? No, just back it up. Let's go through this. Right now, go forward from there. If we can go through slow. So does Mark Smith, the number 9, go through the gap before the 28? Well, he doesn't. No, back that up, please. Back that up. Just go forward, please. So, does Mark Smith prevent a tackle? So, yeah, we might have another angle. So, he's at side. He's now in front. Oh, I think that's lazy action. Lazy action. Give us another angle, please, on that. So, goes through. He pulls him back. No, I think that's lazy play. Run it through. That's a try. That's a try. Nah. He's in front of Mark Smith at all the times. So Mark Smith is not in front of him. So that's a try, Chris. That's a try, mate.
Time back on.
So that's good enough to make sure it is without any doubt Swinton's night tonight. Suddenly the lead stretches to 20 points. 32 points to 10, 22 points. The difference now. There's simply no way back for York tonight at the very least. What do you make of all that, fellas?
I have a bit of a problem with the try. I think it's a great finish from Rhys Williams, but is he not allowed to make a side-on tackle? The Swinton, the York defender.
So you wouldn't have given that?
Me?
Well, I don't know. He said that Mark Smith wasn't in front of Rhys Williams, but I think he was in front of Rhys Williams before Williams came through. But
It's got to be, hasn't
Let's not take away the couple of decent counter punches here from Swinton and a great break. Richie Hawkyard with a great break pass to Kevin Penny, who goes 50 metres, and Rhys Williams finished. That just typifies the back three of Swinton tonight. I think they've been super.
no, absolutely, and they deserve their win tonight. Let's take nothing away from them. Thoroughly deserve it. And I think the play from Sam Scott there, where he actually puts the, he runs across field and puts the kick in, this probably typifies York at the moment, where, they just, at times in the game, they've had some good spells tonight, but they just lapses of concentration, and it was a nothing play, and they're playing for a bonus point at that point. There's still 7 minutes on the clock. You still got to stick with your systems and what's working for you, and you just go away from it and try and solve it. And that's the issue, It gives them the opportunity, and off the back of this, I'm with you, Brian. I think Mark Smith, he's pushing, which he's doing the right thing. He's pushing with his teammate, but he runs into the same hole, and to me, he's in front of Rhys Williams, and he does prevent Brown from getting there. I know probably Brown plays on it a little bit, but at the end of the day, he does prevent the opportunity of Brown being able to make that cover tackle.
Nanin's missed conversion, so it remains 32 points to 10. What about this for a restart? It's collected by Tarui.
He's been impressive, hasn't he, Tarui?
Well, I think the whole
Brown.
I think the whole front row for Swinton tonight's been great. I think Glenn Riley and I think it was Morrison set the platform with the back three early in the game, and then I think you saw the introduction of Mills and Tarui. They came on and just what you want from your benchmen is either to carry on the impetus or take it to another level and have that impact, and I think they did. And then I think he's used them pretty well at the right times, hasn't he? You know what I mean? When he's felt then they were starting to lose a little bit, then bring the fresh legs on and regain the middle there, and we've just seen an injury there, Dave.
It's like he's holding his eye, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mix up his eye. Might got a finger in the eye.
Possibly.
And they really hurt. Don't
they do. They are painful.
It's one of the worst injuries you get, honestly, Woods. A finger in the eye.
How do you know? You're the one who used to do it, never.
See.
Anyway, Brian Noble, man of the match tonight.
Well, it's gone to Richie Hawkyard for different reasons. I thought Kevin Penny and Rhys Williams have been brilliant in the backfield. I think their front rows have been really good. But he's made some really, really important cover tackles and interjected and got Swinton rolling forward right at the right times. And he epitomises the enthusiasm that's probably separated the teams tonight.
Well, this is the injury, by the way.
Oh, clash of heads, wasn't it?
We finished strong, 40 here. We finished strong, discipline is good.
Is the hand? Oh, it's his own hand. He's put it on, he's got a smack on the side of the cheek, hasn't he? So well done to Richie Hawkyard. He's the Kingston Press man of the match here tonight.
Yeah, take it back.
He's okay.
Yeah, I think it was a tough one for you to call that one, Brian, 'cause it's been a really good team effort tonight, hasn't it, from the Swinton Lions? I think, across the park, I think all the players have done their role and played their part in a good victory.
Well, I just think their moments of ascendancy have come on the back of Tarak carries, on the back of Brown carries, on the back of Mills carries. Watson getting him around the field with his smart play, and there's a little cameo from those Tarak, followed by Watson run, followed by a decent pass to Brown, followed by a decent kick from Harvey.
It's going to be 7 without a win for York. If they are looking on a bright side tonight, it is that they do have a match in hand on those around them. 4 games to go.
James Ford just looking for a little bit of afters there. He had the grapple tackle there on Sarsfield, and then after the penalty was blown, I think he tried to grab his elbow and squeeze him in, and a little bit of niggle, as we'll see it here.
Let's have a look.
There's the grapple, and then he just goes, yep, I'll grab your arm there, squeeze it in, and just a bit of afters. And
better than that, Paul. Hold here, hold. Wait for the 4th hold, go.
So the tap, and a chance here for Mick Nanin to try and make a bit of progress. 2 minutes of this game remaining. Swinton have got it in the bag. It all started with a 12-10 victory over Featherstone, the belief. It grew with a bonus point against Lee, and now it's sky high with this massive win against one of their relegation rivals here tonight. 7 points in 3 games. The Swinton camp believes. And York somehow have got to get a bit of that into their boots as well, into their minds, that they can still survive as well. They'll need a better showing than they put up tonight so far. Watson into that in-goal area. The chase and the big boot from Tom Carl puts it out of play. Drop it underneath the sticks.
It's the third time tonight he's absolutely leathered the ball, hasn't he? Slide tackle and whoom, get that into. What's this? If anybody gets near his head, oh jeez,
Jeez, Mark Smith.
Have a good punch.
I bet you he's thinking the lucky heavens there.
Yeah, Mark Smith thinking that could have been the worst kick chase I ever did.
Yeah.
That's a what about that for a drop?
Good drop out.
Big effort.
Samir Tarui, who connects it safely enough. He's a good water polo player as well, and a basketball player. This Samir Tarui plays both to a decent level, so it's a decent all-round sportsman.
You're onside now.
Oh, little
James Ford
round the cheeks.
Oh, touch his
James
head.
That's 2 on his head. Sorry,
The referee saw it. I think James Ford just needs to. They need him on the field for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and look, and they do, because he's one of their senior players. You know what I mean? And I think he's even the captain of the side, isn't he? And you know what I mean? So they do. You're right, Ryan. You know, he needs to calm down. He's obviously frustrated, and you know it is frustrating when you're 7 losses in a row, and you know things aren't going right for you, and the team is. It's not like they're not trying. It's not like they're not effing. We just want to reiterate that to fans, because a lot of fans sometimes think that the team isn't doing enough. They're not putting enough effort in. The effort will be there. They're just not executing well enough, and they're just not probably reacting to some of the plays well enough, and they're just lapsing that bit of concentration. And to be fair, they are probably lacking a little bit of leadership and a little bit of experience out there at times as well. You know, you look in the Swinton side. Yes, they've got a handful of youth there, but they've still got some experience in pivotal positions in Smith, Watson, you know, even Big McNannon on the edge here. You know what I mean? They've got a sprinkle of experience in there to steady the ship when it's needed, when you're in those tough situations. So
just run and kick it now, KP. Just run and kick it now.
They've just got to keep the faith.
Nanin certainly gives it enough welly, doesn't he? And he's used to the flags going up, as they do, taking a little closer to Kel Koslit's total. But of more imminent importance is it gives his side, completes a very good 34 points to 10 win here tonight against